We'll tell you what changes to expect from the journalism department next year.
New payment plans for students if they don't have the money to pay tuition up front.
A look inside Safe House Outreach and more on tonight's Panther Report.
I'm Victor Williams.
And I'm Lakeisha Ligon. Be advised that there are new changes to the journalism department. Students will get the opportunity to get hands-on experience by using Atlanta as a classroom backdrop. Administrators have added 2 new concentrations for students, multimedia reporting and media and society, that makes this possible. These changes to the curriculum will give students the opportunity to sit in and report on things happening at the Capitol or work at Georgia Public Broadcasting. Students should note that they don't have to switch over to the new catalog, but can still take these classes as electives. Here is correspondent Joey Redmond with more.
I'm standing outside the SunTrust building where recently some very important decisions have been made that will affect the education of many students here at GSU. All these changes and decisions come focused in on the journalism program offered, as we are going to see many changes in the classes that are offered, as well as the way the general course curriculum is structured. Some of the most notable changes are the addition to a concentration in public relations, as well as a variety of 2-credit mini-mester course options that cover a series of topics. Just as an example, things like sports journalism. There are also 2 minors being offered, the first being a minor in media management and the second a minor in game design and development. And while both these minors don't specifically relate to the journalism program, you can in fact take them with a journalism major. If you're a current student and wish to not see your course curriculum change, don't worry, because it won't unless of course you want it to. All these classes will be available and are available for registration in the 2015 summer and fall semesters. So inspired by the meeting, I'm here with Rico Johnson, who just got out of the most recent information session regarding all these big journalism changes. Rico, tell me about what your concentration is and why this meeting is important to you.
My concentration is public relations, and this was important for me to come to this meeting because it's all the recent changes to the courses, and my major was journalism, and with all the Georgia, I think perimeter was like merging, so I think it was important for me to come to this meeting to see anything if changed or whatnot, so I wouldn't get kind of left behind and work and have to be here for more than the time that I need to be here. So that's why I think it was important to come here.
If you're interested in learning more about everything that's going on and how maybe you can apply it to your curriculum, talk to the communications department here in the SunTrust building or visit any one of our GSU student counselors. I'm Joey Redmond reporting for GSTV's Panther Report.
Georgia State was a part of a 2-day symposium for the Atlanta Science Film Festival. Several scientists, artists, and activists gathered in the Student Center at David J. Spencer Museum and CDC Auditorium for the 2-day event. Activities included panel sessions and film screenings, all to discuss the environmental and public health issues related to plastic pollution and to encourage collaborative solutions. Experts discussed the most current research, creative response, activism mobilization, and the industry's best practices in a quest to address runaway global plastic pollution.
Need a place to volunteer? Safe House Outreach is right down the street from campus and offers many opportunities for student volunteers in the area of family and women's services, mentoring programs, food services, and so much more. Miranda Wendington talks to the founder about the start of the outreach and takes us inside.
For the thousands of college students that attend our campus every single day, many have volunteered or at least heard of Safe House Outreach. Safe House is more than just a place where you can knock out your community service hours, but instead a home for the ever-growing homeless population here in the city of Atlanta.
Safe House was founded in 1982 by Philip Bray. Bray, a former pastor's kid, said that he was preached at instead of listened to and decided that he wanted to listen to troubled teens.
And so I just started going to where they were in the city of Atlanta in 1982 and listening to them. And it happened to be there was a Crystal hamburger joint in Midtown Atlanta that I would go and sit all night long and buy burgers for kids and listen to them.
Through this, Bray discovered that many of the kids weren't saved, and thus came the name Safe House. Safe House on average can see anywhere from 200 to 500 volunteers a day. Last year, Safe House had over 15,000 volunteers, and most of those come from Georgia State. He credits this relationship with our university to the location.
It's powerful, and it's why we have such a strong relationship with GSU. is the location, because we're just literally right up against the campus.
Volunteers can come and cook and serve meals to the homeless, help clean the building, and even mentor at-risk kids. Safe House provides the homeless with access to using their address for mail, receive help from their case management team, as well as receive medical checkups and referrals from Georgia State nursing students. Safe House also has a women and children's center where women can receive help and counseling once a week. Since founding Safe House over 30 years ago, Philip Bray has learned a lot about our homeless population.
But what I've learned is that most people really want to change. They just need to be guided and shown a path to change.
This is Miranda Whittington reporting for GSTV.
According to the SGA website, the 2015-2016 elections are in full swing. SGA hosted a debate last week with candidates for the new senator positions. The website also notes that candidates have already begun campaigning for positions of the Student Government Association. OrgSync voting begins April 6, 2015, and the campaign rally commences April 7, 2015 at 11 a.m. at the Library Plaza. Students, next time stay tuned for more as we talk to some SGA candidates about their plans for the election year.
There are new payment plans for students sponsored by Enrollment Services. Students can now opt to pay up to 50% of their tuition for classes up to the midpoint of the semester.
Live outside the Office of Student Financial Aid. This semester, Georgia State University will be implementing a new payment plan for students to pay their tuition. The newly implemented Georgia State payment plan allows students to defer payment up to 50% of the current term's tuition and mandatory fees, or 50% of the current balance, whichever is less.
A payment plan we call a pay-as-you-go plan. It's the new, we launched it in the spring, this spring 2015. And basically how it works is the students pay 50% down as a down payment, which covers them through the midpoint, and then the remaining 50% is paid in 2 installments, which are due, the final payment due by the midpoint.
Under the plan, the deferred balance is due 30 days after the first day of class, and the remaining of it is due 60 days into the term.
I think the payment plan here at Georgia State is a great way for students to, be able to come to school even if they don't have the money to pay tuition up front. I think it's going to be great to help students, retain, stay in class, do what they need to do to graduate.
WRAS, the student radio station, will begin hosting a Stereo Odyssey event called Expo 88. Acts include Little Ty B, Warehouse, Del Venici, Shampoo, Dots, and the Fantasy Guys. The event takes place next Saturday, April 4th at the Masquerade. Visit album88.org for more info. I'm Victor Williams.
Thank you for watching this week's episode of Panther Report, where your attention is important to us. Remember to stay tuned for the latest episode of Panthertainment. Please visit us online for stories not featured in tonight's broadcast, and follow us on Twitter at Panther_report and like Panther Report on Facebook.
I'm Victor Williams.
And I'm Lakeisha Ligon. Have a good evening.